All right, friends, here is the first bit of book 2 that we are reading together. This is book 2, lines 40 through 49. This is the beginning of the LAOCOON passage. So remember where we are in like the big history of the Trojan War. The Trojan War has been happening for 10 years. The Greeks and the Trojans are still fighting. All of a sudden, the Trojans go out to the shore one day. Remember, Troy sits right on the shore. So they walk out to the shore one day and the Greeks are just gone. And there have been literally 1,000 boats full of Greeks living there for 10 years. All of a sudden, the shore is empty. The beach is empty, except for the Trojan horse. They don't know that it's called that yet. They don't know what it is yet. It's just a giant wooden horse to them. And they're like, oh man, the Greeks must have gone. They must have given up. They must have kind of pulled out from the shore and gone home to Greece and left this as an offering to Athena. And they think it's just sitting there, and they don't know what to do with it. And so they're getting ready to kind of decide what they're doing. And brilliant LAOCOON, best history character / mythology character ever. My favorite one. He sits right behind me. Oh, can you see him? Oh, my backpack. Guys, how am I going to cover up LAOCOON statue while I'm talking about LAOCOON? That's LAOCOON right there. Love him. The most just best character of all. He tries to save the day and very nearly does. So this is his story. These lines end with line 49. It is like one of the most famous lines of all of Latin literature. It gets used in like a lot of modern political speeches and things. Like that line is really important. It's cool that you get to read it. Okay, I'm going to start and stop gushing about how much I love LAOCOON. All right. So there, meaning on the beach, they've gone down to the shore. There, first, before everyone, like in front of everyone, with and then we're in an ablative absolute. Here's your present active participle that anchors it. So with a great crowd gathering, accompanying, like thronging around him. So he's not alone. He's got a bunch of people with him. Also notice the C with comitante and the C with caterwa. See that alliteration? Yeah. So there first, before everyone, with a great crowd surrounding. You can also see that's a word picture, right? The great crowd is surrounding, the word surrounding. Yeah. LAOCOON, burning. He's not literally on fire. He's like burning with emotion. He's really worked up, right? Runs down, that's your verb right there, decurrit. Here's your subject, LAOCOON. So LAOCOON, burning, runs down from the highest citadel. He's a priest. He's running out of the big citadel. And from far off. There's no word for he says in here, but we can see from the quotes that he is going to be talking. So, and from far off. So as he's running up, he starts yelling, oh, miserable ones. That's evocative. He's talking to them. He's addressing all the Trojans that are gathered on the shore. Oh, miserable ones. What is, I think this is a true ellipsis we're missing in est. That's terrible handwriting, sorry. What is such insanity, citizens? Oh, wretched ones. What is such insanity? What is this insanity, citizens? Do you believe, I got the do because it's a question, right? Do you believe that? Now this is an indirect statement. Don't forget that in an indirect statement, you are going to get an infinitive for your verb and an accusative for your subject. This is Alwektos essay. It's another, sorry, I'm trying to write the word essay. My handwriting on Zoom is super good. Sorry. Alwektos essay is a perfect passive infinitive. Yeah, so do you believe that, now we're in an indirect statement, the enemy has been carried away? Meaning, do you think they just got like picked up off the shore? They obviously didn't just get picked up and moved, right? Or do you think, now we're in another indirect statement. I'm going to put the brackets here, but Ula goes in there with Dona. Or do you think that any gifts of the Greeks, this is really done a aurum, a syncope in there, lack trickery? I love that sentence. Or do you think that any gifts of the Greeks lack trickery? This is dative because carere takes the dative, So it sounds like a direct object, but it's dative because that's what happens after carere. Excuse me. Carere is an infinitive because it's an infinitive in an indirect statement. It's just a present active one. Yeah. So, or do you think that any gifts of the Greeks lack trickery? Got another missing est in here. Thus is Ulysses well known. He's saying like, isn't Ulysses known in this way? Is not Ulysses known for this trickery, right? Like that's his thing in the Odyssey, all throughout the Odyssey, which Virgil obviously had read and most of his audience would have read. Ulysses is called like tricky, clever Ulysses. He's crafty, right? Crafty Ulysses. And then he's going to give you, I'm going to switch colors to try and help you. Let me read through that bit one more time kind of smoothly because I feel like I stopped a lot. So it says from there or there at first, before everyone, with a great crowd surrounding, LAOCOON burning, runs down from the top of the citadel, from the highest citadel, and from far off says, "O miserable ones, what is this insanity, citizens? Do you believe that the enemy was carried off? Or do you think that any gift of the Greeks lacks trickery? Is Ulysses known thus? Isn't Ulysses known in this way?" And then that's the first bit. All right. Then he's going to list out for you 3 options for what he thinks is happening. Each option starts with an out. So those are kind of the 3 anchor points for the options he's giving them, saying either this is happening, or this is happening, or here's the third option. He's got 3. So either the Achaewi, the Greeks, enclosed in this wood are hidden. Either the Greeks enclosed in this wood are hidden. The wood here is a metonymy for the horse, right? He should have said like enclosed in the horse. They're not physically inside of the wood, right? It's surrounded by a bunch of pieces of wood that have been shaped into a horse. Or this machine was made. Now we're missing like a to go. I want ire in here somewhere. It's missing. I don't really think that's an ellipsis. I think the sense of it would have been clear to a native speaker. But we want one in English, right? So, or this machine was made to go into our walls. I think, and lots of scholars think, I'm not just making this up, that in here is really like against our walls. It was made to go into the walls and be against the Trojans. It's not a friendly thing, right? And then you'll notice haik and machina, those words are both nominative, feminine, singular, as are these 2 words that I'm underlining. You'll also notice these words are inspectura and ventura. Those are future active participles, about to do something. They're about to do the verb. Yeah. So, or this machine was made to go into our walls, about to look into our homes, and to go like to go in the city from above. That's the second option. Or this is where it gets good, y'all. Or another trick lies hidden. That's your third option. Or another trick lies hidden. So those options are either they're hidden inside, or the machine was made to break our walls in some way so that they can come over the walls that they've been trying to do for 10 years but haven't been successful, or there's some other trick hidden in there. Notice he doesn't give any good options. He's basically saying, I know the Greeks, I know Ulysses, he's tricky, he's always been tricky. Why are we even trying to trust him? This can't be good. So then this last line and a half is super duper famous, actually. It says, do not trust. That's a negative imperative. Do not trust the horse, Teucrians. That's another word for Trojans. Do not trust the horse, Teucrians. Now this is your famous line. Whatever it is, I fear the Greeks, even bearing gifts. I fear the Greeks, even, we're used to that meaning also or and, but it can also mean even. So even bearing gifts. What he's saying here is, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the Trojan horse is, but I don't trust the Greeks, even when they're supposedly bringing this gift to Athena. So they're assuming that this Trojan horse is a gift to Athena, and they're just wrong, right? LAOCOON very clearly sees it for what it is. It says, I've given you 3 options. One of them happens to be right. And I know that something's wrong with it. We just have to know that we shouldn't trust the Greeks, even when they appear to be doing something nice. They're too tricky. And that sets up really well a splitting point for Greek and Roman culture. We talked about how Virgil's trying to like set up the Roman Odyssey, right? And so in a lot of the Odyssey, what Odysseus is doing is he's relying on his trickery, his skill, his craft to get him through, to be the like key to their success. Especially here at the end with the Trojan horse, right? This is Ulysses' plan. He's so crafty and sneaky. But what Virgil is setting up for the Romans is that they're not crafty. They're not sneaky. They're not tricking anyone. They're just better than you, right? Like Aeneas is marked by piety and respect for the god and reverence for his family and like dedication to doing the right thing. They're not sneaky like those Greeks, right? So from the beginning, we see that Trojan stock, here kind of embodied in LAOCOON, the Trojan, is just better than the Greeks. We're not sneaky like those silly Greeks. We're Romans and we're better than them. Okay, that's all. Come back for the next video.